All right, what's up, everybody? I have a awesome interview today for you. I'm going to hop into the screen here, and we have my buddy Rishab from Lake Finance. Rishab, welcome to the live stream today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dave.
I wanted to ask you a couple questions about this company you're building. Tell me, what is the value proposition of Lake Finance?
Sure, we're on a mission to help our generation grow their wealth by building the financial service experience that we wish we had. So today we're offering a simple, passive, and low-cost investing product powered by AI, starting with digital assets.
Oh,
To
very
us, it's crazy to think that people outside of North America don't have access to safe investment vehicles, such as the Canadian equities market, and now using blockchain, we have the golden opportunity to unlock wealth at a global scale, regardless of how much money you make or where you live. And our goal is to become the go-to brand for investing across multiple different asset classes and become the one-stop shop for investing across every single asset class. That's about it.
nice.
That's
That's
what we
awesome.
do.
So tell me, who's like what's an example of a customer that you would like to work with? What's kind of an ideal customer? Someone that hears about you on
Sure.
Twitter or gets a chance to come across you maybe at a crypto event. Tell me about this kind of ideal customer and how you help that customer.
Yeah, we're really looking at people, within our demographic between the ages of 18 to let's say 30. We're just trying to figure out, if our target demographic are people that want exposure to digital assets first and foremost, and make it part of their well-balanced portfolio. So those people for us are the ideal customer. And on the flip side, it's also these early adopters are super into the DeFi space, know how to set up their own wallets, and there's some friction points in choosing what currency to buy, for example. So we're trying to figure out how to create these index funds essentially, but have them algorithmically balanced, algorithmically traded, and make sure we can build like this prediction engine on top of it, so you get the best value based on your risk and just based on your reward profile. So that's really what we're after are those two key users. But we definitely prefer the former rather than the latter because it's just easy to work with those customers. They already know something about crypto. They don't know how to get into it, what assets to buy, and it's easier to work on that side because that demographic is huge. A and B, like people, especially in emerging markets, for example, really don't know how to set up like investment products outside of their local geographies.
Mhm. So basically, there's a lot of complexity in crypto. There's over 2,000 or
Right.
so currencies on CoinMarketCap or 1,800 or whatever. There's a lot. So basically, you're going to try to minimize or kind of abstract some of that complexity, correct?
Yeah, so like we have this rotating portfolio essentially. So we build a portfolio, ideally personalized to your individual risk profile essentially. Like right now it's generic as we're still in beta and we're still trying to tweak out, what exactly the models look like and how do we get it to a personalized state. But essentially what we do is we rotate between the top, right now there's two products. One is like the top 11 currencies. And we basically like, rejig your portfolio every week essentially on, what best assets to buy based on market movements and price movements and price inertia. And then on the flip side, we also have this like high risk product, which is like you get access to about 50 assets,
Mm,
and we're trying to figure out a way to make that available to the general audience as we move forward.
that's cool. And then I've talked to Alessio from DexWallet. He's working on something called
Nice.
the Earn Network, which basically
Yep.
tokenizes and simplifies a lot of this stuff, and that's kind of interesting. And then recently, over the past couple days, I've been chatting with the Set Protocol team. I've been in their Telegram. They have a lot of cool discussions
Very
and stuff.
cool.
So how are you different than say Set Protocol or maybe Earn?
So yeah, so protocol you really have to show up with your own wallet, whether it be like MetaMask or like some sort of other Ethereum wallet essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you get access to ERC20 tokens and maybe like wrap Bitcoin. I know about like this Bitcoin slash ETH, rebalancing set essentially. So I think that's pretty cool. But like what's missing is the on ramp to the entire system, which is how do we educate people on what digital assets are? How do we get them exposed to digital assets in a certain way? And if they're comfortable enough doing it themselves, then let them use things like that protocol.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like the gap from getting like a retail audience today to something like in the state of set protocol, I think there's a huge gap there that hasn't been really like touched upon, where we can abstract complexities in the space and make it easier and better for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such a fascinating time. As we were talking in preparation for this call, like I just feel so excited to wake up in the morning and
Exactly.
work in the internet money space. So many cool things happening. So much, like you said, so much complexity. You have to spend
Yeah.
like hours and hours. I might spend 14 hours a day reading some days, just trying to get through and understand and wrap my head around all these different concepts. So, a question for you that I like to ask my friends and that I've asked on Twitter, got a lot of people
Sure.
responding. If one of your friends, say a buddy from high school, came up to you and said, "Listen, I've got $1,000, and I want to be able to put this into a couple currencies, one or two or three currencies, whatever." What would you say to him? What would you encourage? Not give him advice, but like what ideas would you share with him on how he could possibly invest that $1,000?
Yeah, it's just interesting because if you look at traditional stocks, you have like price earning ratios, you have like other things that are kind of like indicative of the future performance of an asset or of a company. So you can look at that on the stock side of things. But how do you kind of factor that into the digital asset space? Bitcoin is not a company, Ethereum is not a company. It's run by like these dev teams that are remote and everywhere. There's no PE ratios. There's no like future reports or previous earnings.
Mm-hmm.
None of that. So the best thing I could recommend for them is like to use something like Lake, where you have like this ever evolving index of assets. So you don't really need to figure out which ones to buy and which ones to sell or when to do it. Everything is taken care of by our in-house AI. So that's one way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The second is like do your due diligence on what you think might be undervalued today, and spend some time in devising up your portfolio based on those three or four assets essentially, or maybe 10 if you're super into it.
That's cool. Yeah, it's an interesting kind of thought experiment. So something we've been kind of discussing. Like some people don't want to put any money into Ethereum. There's people on Twitter, and no, I'm not going to put any. Like what? Ethereum's awesome. Like you don't want to invest in Ethereum. So I don't know. It's just it's interesting to try to figure out what the future holds. So.
But some people go on the notion of token economics, which is basic economics in my eyes. We can look at token burn and minting, and if it's like a fixed supply, for example, or that thing that's working on like BNB has been a really good performer in our portfolio, but also like individually. But what is that based on? Is that based on sentiment? Is that based on like they have these token burn periods? Is it based on buyback? You got to figure out what those verticals are, and then come to a decision yourself as a savvy investor, ideally. But for a lot of people, they can't really take the time, or it's too complicated as a space. So a simple index fund like ours kind of works out better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been very interested in Binance and the BNB coin specifically. A lot of people are like, "Oh, there's no good alts." I was like, "Well, maybe BNB might be one to keep an eye on." So, this is great. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. Let me go ahead and show the Discord here. Here's the Lake community right here. So yeah, the great Discord that you guys have been so welcoming to let me participate in recently. There's a new growth section, design section, community section. So I personally like hanging out in Discords, as my audience knows. And so yeah, this Lake Discord has been great. I'm excited to watch as it continues to grow. How many people do you have that are kind of alpha testers, and then how many people do you have on your wait list?
Sure, we got about 100 beta testers roughly, and we have about $200,000 in assets under management. Like we're still keeping it small so we can get user feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And we can figure out where to take the product and where to take the brand more fundamentally, and also figure out the business model while we're at it. But then we're tackling it from those three verticals first and foremost. And on our wait list that's a bit more broader, people that don't have Binance accounts, for example, because right now we're only exclusively integrated with Binance. But people that are interested in the crypto economic ecosystem, or they're interested in digital assets as a portion of the portfolio, that wait list is about 3,500 people, if I remember correctly. I think it's ever growing, so like we get like a few dozen signups every day or every couple of days, and I think it's going to continue to grow.
That's awesome. 3,500 is great. That's awesome traction. So, well, props on all your great work. I think it's awesome how you're going to make it easier for the end consumer to be able to understand the complexity of the space. I've been a big fan of Betterment, a U.S.-based company that is doing some creative things, and Wealthfront also does the same thing, and basically robo-investors. But the user interface when you log in, I'm actually going to show the audience here if I'm just going to go to Betterment. The user interface, whatever on Betterment, is real nice and simple and focused. It just kind of makes it really easy to access your funds, and does it for you, build wealth, retirement, yada yada yada. I just think that kind of model really could add a lot of value to the crypto space, and there's just so much potential when it comes to DeFi. And I mean, yes, traditional finance is awesome and Betterment is awesome, but man, all the cool things that are happening in the DeFi space, the Ethereum space, with DAI, with Compound, with Dharma, all those things it's just great to see. So I feel blessed to work in this space. It's just cool. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially because one address like an Ethereum wallet can double as like a high interest savings account.
Yeah.
Off the payment method, but also you can get into like other asset classes on top of that. So it really like fundamentally changes what traditional banking is or traditional robo advisors. We're definitely fortunate to kind of play in the space, so we see it grow.
Yeah, fortune is the right word. Okay, before I let you go here, do you have any requests? How could the audience help you, or what would you like people to do? Would you like them to join the wait list? What are your requests?
Yeah, definitely with like product feedback, and that's really what we're interested in, and also like understanding kind of like your backgrounds, why you guys got into this crypto space first and foremost, understanding like how we can help you better achieve your financial goals, or how do we leave the world a better place. Like understanding where people are coming from definitely takes precedence over just building a simple product. But ultimately, we're in it to help our generation and help people like us around the world get into a couple different asset classes and make sure we can bring Wall Street tech to Main Street investors.
That's awesome.
So help us out wherever we can, but especially on the user feedback and research side, we definitely appreciate it.
And it's lake.finance is the URL, and then on Twitter it is Lake
Finance.
Lake Finance on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, great. Well, hope everybody follows you and continues to support you guys as you're doing great stuff. And thanks so much for jumping on this call with me today. This has been great.
Thanks for the support, man. It's been definitely helpful.